John was working in his science lab, got blasted by gamma rays. Now he's Smash Trivia John, always smashing. He's friends with Ruffalo, crushing on Maslany, and also Sydney Sweeney. John's here saying, hello my gamma friends, welcome to the show, the Gamma Analysis Podcast.
Smash.
Hello, my Gamma friends. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Smash Trivia John. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And by searching Smash Trivia, I'll be the one with the big old green head in the profile picture. This is the Gamma Analysis. Basically, I'm going to review everything Hulk, all the movies, TV shows, and I also do random other geeky films. So hope you enjoy. Smash Trivia presents the Gamma Analysis. I want to ask everyone listening, please do sign for me. Please share the hell out of this podcast with all your friends. If you don't, Hulk will be angry. Now, let's smash right into this episode. Today's episode is a review of Sonic the Hedgehog with Hedgy, a.k.a. King of Hedgies from Twitter. How you doing, Hedgy?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm very excited to talk about this film. I love the Sonic movies. I think that they are one of, if not the greatest video game adaptations I've seen.
Oh, I 100% agree. I mean, I've been since I was little, a big Sonic fan. So kind of having movies come out, because when the first trailer came out, I was like, we're not getting another one. When this comes out, now we're on to 3 movies, a show, and a fourth coming. So it's been great, and then it helps that all of the movies have been good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I didn't really grow up much playing the games, but I grew up watching the cartoons, and it really does feel like a live action cartoon, and I love it
Definitely.
so much. I think they got a perfect actor with Ben Schwartz, I think is his name, who voices Sonic, and then and Jim Carrey as Robotnik. It's just so perfect.
Jim Carrey, I remember when he was kind of revealed, and some people are like, I don't know if he's gonna fit Eggman, and I'm like, okay, one, we're probably not gonna get the most accurate just version of any character because we have to translate it to film a little bit. So some people are going to be a bit different. But my whole take was it's Jim Carrey. You could change the character, whatever he's playing, it's going to be good.
Oh yeah,
because I've yet to see anything Jim Carrey is in where he's not amazing.
Hey, I think so. I remember when this first came out, there were a lot of people upset by how cool Robotnik is, and how he doesn't wear the right outfit and all this stuff. And I get that. I can understand that critique, but I also, now that we do have as well Jim Carrey having played a actual perfectly accurate Robotnik, as the films went on, I kind of love this start for him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I said, it's pretty different from the game version, but in a way that I think is done really well.
Oh yeah,
because he kind of starts more kind of the smart one, then goes crazy, which I like a lot. I thought they handled that really well.
It's so every time that he's on screen, it just brings a smile to my face. It's Jim Carrey will always bring a smile to my face. I think another thing that a lot of people complain about, but I actually don't mind in this, is the road trip aspect of it. I really enjoy road trip movies. So I think this was kind of fun.
For me, I haven't seen a ton of road trip movies, so it didn't bother me. And then yeah, to me, I thought it was done really well.
Mhm.
So whether I had or not, I think I would have still enjoyed it because it's
I,
just fun.
I just remember there were a lot of people who complained about it. They were like, how dare you put Sonic in a car when he can run fast?
That's the funny thing is being a fan of the games. We've had this argument for so long because he's been in several like kart racing games. Like at some point, you just need to get over it.
Yeah,
Sometimes he'll be in a car.
yeah.
It's not that big of a deal.
You know, one thing as I was thinking about as I was rewatching it, in this first one for this podcast is I want to see them return to his to Sonic's home world in one of these films. I think it would be so cool to have have one of them like he finds out something there's some kind of like problem going on there, and so he returns there to save the Green Hills planet.
Absolutely. Like some people, I don't agree with the fact that some people want just only that, like cut out every, like all of the human characters, anything like that. I still think we need both
Oh
because I
yeah,
would also like to go back because I'm a huge fan of the
I
games,
want
kind of
them
like to
to.
see more of the world.
If we were to do something like that, I would want him to bring the his human characters with
Yeah,
to there because they're going to be able to help him with saving the planet.
especially 3 movies in, I'm like, we can't just kind of throw away the characters that we've kind of built up.
Oh yeah,
And then even in the first movie where um, you're kind of just getting to know them, they're still good. Like it's been rare, at
oh
least
yeah,
for me, where I've seen kind of a original character made for a video game movie and he's likable. Because a lot of the ones I've seen, there's some I'm more fine with. Like I was a little more lenient on the Mortal Kombat original character, but a lot of people just don't like when you make characters that aren't from the game. But to me, that's unless they're bad, which happens, I don't mind.
yeah. I think that I think people are way too like tied to things being exactly the source material so that and that's why they're so against any kind of original characters like like people also have a problem whenever like in like Marvel movies there's an original character and it's like I characters have to be created at some point.
Yeah, and then
It's
that to me ties to the thing of people getting mad when any slight thing is changed. Like
Mhm.
I agree with people in like yeah, say Marvel or something when things change too much, and you're like, okay, this doesn't feel like the same character. Like I get that whether that actual character that was adapted is now good or not, that's a different question. But the people that like if you change anything about a character, this new version is automatically bad
Mhm.
because I see that way too often and I
I
don't understand it.
I think as well it's a problem of people propping up the old too much. So anything that's new, they feel they have to shit on it so that they can keep believing that the old thing is the most amazing thing ever.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And again,
Like I think that there's a lot of people who they wouldn't let themselves enjoy the new Daredevil show on Disney Plus because of their love for the original Netflix one.
that's kind of been for me, even with my brother, uh, trying to be a fan of like Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies. Is it's like he can't do his own thing now for some people because Toby is here or Andrew is here. He could never be as good because he's not the old ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that kind of mentality that I
Yeah.
just don't like. And even with just Sonic related things, being in that fandom, this is a constant thing. Anything new that comes out is immediately just bad. It's not like the old ones.
Mm-hmm.
Even though now the series have kind of pivoted to now including more of the old stuff, but that's still not good enough because it's not those exact things.
Yeah. Oh, but I this film though specifically, like it really just like it. They you can tell that there's so much care put into the to this and in all of the Sonic movies. Is though I'm gonna be honest, I don't support the support bullying VFX artists into changing a design. I, I do think think that it's cool that they were willing to, so that because that shows how much they care about the character.
The thing I like with that is that can some people are saying the director had no like when the first movie came out. Now that argument's kind of gone, that the director doesn't know Sonic very well, which is funny to me because might not know this, but the director's first experience with Sonic was a game, Shadow the Hedgehog, that came out like by this point almost 20 years ago. So
Nice.
he's been working on Sonic. So he kind of knows. And when people didn't like the design, he knew kind of to change it and got one of like the most recent comic artists that's kind of gotten all the characters to how they look now. So he designed everyone
I
going forward.
I feel the thing is though, that makes me really dislike like it is the bullying aspect and the and how the VFX company that did the original design, they ended up shutting down on after that debacle, and that's kind of saddening to see.
Yeah, like I wasn't a fan of the design when it came out, but I also wasn't going to be the kind of person that's like, here, I'm going to go attack the company
Yeah.
or attack people who work in the company.
Uh-huh.
To me, that's just A, being petty and B, being an asshole.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I just still, I'm like, you cannot like it. Just, you don't need to attack people. That goes for
And
anything. But
and to be honest,
unless they're a
it
terrible
would have been
person, yes.
the same film, even with a different design. And I think yeah, we might not like the design, but I think people still would have enjoyed the film even with the other design.
That's, that was the funny thing. Even when it was changed, they're like, the movie will be good now. I'm like, well, the movie is going to be the same. It's just Sonic looks different now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, don't get me wrong, love where they went with the movie. You still worth it because it's the same movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think people forget that sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. I think the now one character I do not remember if it was ever it was in the like games or cartoons. I love in these movies is I'm wondering whether it was an original character or not. Agent Stone.
Agent Stone was he was created for the movies,
I think he's such a fun
and he's
character.
great. He,
Oh yeah.
as far as the human characters go, he's definitely my favorite that they've introduced.
Mhm.
My favorite, obviously, is Jim Carrey,
Oh
but
yeah.
of the original characters, yeah, Agent Stone
Mhm.
takes it, and he just got better every movie.
Oh yeah. Uh, I was honestly when a surprise when we they announced that Jim Carrey was coming back for the third film. I thought Agent Stone was going to be taking over as the villain role.
I think most of us thought because I remember
Uh,
interviews after Sonic
oh
2
yeah,
came out, and Jim Carrey was like, "Yeah, I'm retiring,"
yeah, he's that
and then now he's back.
and they literally teased having Agent Stone be the villain at the end of the second one, and which I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I would mind having Agent Stone rise up and get to be the villain himself,
That's kind of what I'm thinking will happen in the fourth movie. We'll kind of have him and Metal Sonic kind of going
unless they find some way again to have Jim
because
Carrey
I know
return.
he's been rumored, and if they do include Jim Carrey, I know how they could do it because the first game Metal Sonic was introduced in had a lot of time travel kind of stuff. So if they wanted to work that in, that's how you could probably fit Jim Carrey in. But
Mhm.
my whole thing is, I want, as much as I love Jim Carrey, I kind of want him to take a back seat for this one. A, so we can see if Agent Stone will work, and obviously give Metal Sonic his time.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
The main thing is just
I'm
wanting to
really
see Agent Stone.
I'm also for the fourth film. I'm really excited for getting to see who they end up casting as the voice for Amy.
Yeah, I'm
I think that's gonna be a fun
kind
one.
of curious who that would be
Oh yeah.
because some of the characters I could kind of have some sort of idea. Amy, I have several that I think could fit.
Oh yeah.
So I'm
There's a
it's a
lot of
to
good.
me it heavily depends on the route they go with her.
Mhm.
So like they make her more the girl boss, there's options for that. If they make her more the original where she's like really bubbly and girly, there's options for that. There's kind of a middle ground.
Yeah,
It just depends on who they go for.
I think that they probably will go with she's both bubbly and a badass.
That's what I'm hoping for because that's where Amy's at her best in the games is when she's both of them.
Hmm. And like I it gives when you have a character who's bubbly and a badass, it gives such an unhinged feel, and I love that kind of feel.
I the thing that I really want to see with that is I want to see an Amy like that go with this version of Sonic because I'm not sure how that kind of dynamic would go because Sonic's insane in these movies. He's very hyper, very
Uh,
much like a little kid,
I
which
think
some
as well
people.
what'll be interesting is like whether they'll actually do their romance or not, because like they do have a romance in like I'm pretty sure the games and the cartoon, but to be honest, this is the Sonic in the movies doesn't really feel like someone who has any attraction.
Yeah, that's also something I'm wondering about because I could easily see either way. They could make it where he does kind of this is like the first time he's felt an attraction to somebody and it's someone kind of similar to him. But I could also see them just completely ignoring that.
I think what could be interesting, and this is it's mainly because there's not a lot of representation for this, is like I could see like a maybe like a Knuckles and Tails teasing him and like thinking he's probably attracted to her, but like the maybe revealing by in the film that he does actually not have attraction, that he's maybe Ace. I think that could be cool.
I could actually see that happening.
I would like if something like that happened because as I think that Ace people deserve more representation in movies.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mhm. This I love how this film multiple times parodies the X-Men Days of Future Past as a stopping time scene and, and to hilarious results.
That's I remember when that first came out. It wasn't a ton of people, but there was someone like, okay, so he's just copying Quicksilver. But I want to go. I'm like two things. One, that scene is badass,
Uh,
so I don't mind seeing new versions of it.
it's
And then
I
personal
wouldn't
reasons, I don't mind seeing a Quicksilver version with my favorite character in it.
yeah.
I think that's
It's
cool.
also I wouldn't really think of it as a copying, more an homage.
Yeah, I
Like
agree with
that
that.
feels more along the lines of what they're doing. And uh but yeah, it's just so much fun on they have I think the small town setting for this was a really good choice. I think it really makes things feel intimate and personal.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. I think one character that I wish they brought back for the sequels is the character that started the idea of calling Sonic the Blue Devil. The
I'm kind
town
of
thought was crazy.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't because a lot of these movies end up having the character that kind of goes crazy because then you get two and three and there's more of them. So like you got Tails, Knuckles now. So there's three animals running around
Like I feel like
like
they
that.
could
Now we
have a
got
lot of
Shadow.
fun with they could have a lot of fun with him and finding out about more and more of these guys.
That's what I'm hoping if in the fourth one they kind of go. because I understand why, but two and three kind of haven't had as much of like being at home. It's
Mm.
all about kind of the big blockbuster kind of feel, especially in the third one.
Oh yeah. They I do like though how like they did a really good job at gradually making each film bigger than the last.
Yeah.
Um at least trying to think. And then like as the films go on, they just continually made a Robotnik more and more accurate to how he's supposed to be. It just has works so well. Oh yeah. I think that there's also like so many great it just small little comedic moments. Like I love like when just randomly a Dire Robotnik just like decides to hit Agent Soda is like left itself open.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I knew going into this movie. I was like, okay, if we get Jim Carrey, we're gonna have plenty of moments like that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
sure enough, we did, and they were all great.
He really made this character his own, and it's just so perfect. One person that appears in this that was only in it for one scene and they didn't bring it back that I think is a bit of a missed opportunity because I really like this actor is Neil McDougall. Is the general that Dr. Robotnik belittles near the beginning of the film.
Um,
Do you know who
yeah,
Neil McDougall is?
I don't think so. That name sounds familiar.
He's also part of the Howling Commandos in Captain America, and he's also and he played and if you've ever seen like any of the DC Arrowverse shows, he's Damien Dark in those.
Okay.
Yeah, but I always
Okay, yeah, I
enjoy
recognize that
him
guy.
him in films, so I feel like it was a little bit missed opportunity having him in this, but then just having him in only one little scene.
I'm kind of surprised, just even if he was only in the first movie, that he didn't come back at least
Yeah.
once.
Then again, it's not the only time that I feel like they wasted an actor as Kristen Ritter or I feel like was wasted in the third movie.
I agree with that. There were a lot of people. There was a character in one of the cartoons that I thought they were going that route with her, but she just didn't end up doing almost anything. And that was even
Yeah,
one of
like
the names. I'm like, I know that name. Why would you waste it?
yeah,
Why would
like
you waste her?
when they had her in the third film, you expect if you're gonna cast a big actress like her, there's gonna be like some big twist with her character, and there was nothing.
Yeah,
She's
they didn't do anything with her.
just an agent. Like it was
I
so
even remember
odd.
she was getting like promo posters. She was getting like big spotlights, but she didn't really get to do anything.
Yeah,
So
like
almost wondering if she had something and they had to cut it,
I
or they just
wonder.
cut it for no reason. I don't know.
Mhm. Oh, I think. What else about this sideways I want to talk about? The I love when Sonic decides to give a little turtle a ride. That was a lot of fun.
That's one thing I love with this version of Sonic is as much as I love the game Sonic and he'll always be my favorite. I like that this one kind of takes its time a little bit, kind of showing him just kind of having fun
Hmm.
because that's
Oh
what
yeah.
Sonic does is just has fun
Oh
and just kind
yeah.
of lives life how he
And
feels like he can.
I love as well how much they made him a nerd in this. As you have with the like him loving movies and how he reads comics, like it's just I love that. I think that that's really fitting, and I don't I think that either the games or the cartoons ever did that with him.
He's kind of had a different kind of nerd, not recently, but back then he used to be like kind of more of a book nerd, but they've kind of dropped that since then. But yeah, he hasn't been like full like comic or movie nerd ever. So I
But I
kind of
think
like
it
that they did that.
worked really well him being those. Yeah. Is there anything else about this film that you want to talk about?
So one of the things that I remember a lot of people, which I do agree to a certain extent, the people have been complaining about with these three movies, one specifically, is there's little to no music from the actual games. But to me, in the first movie at least, that makes sense because there's not a whole ton of Sonic stuff.
Mhm.
It's more the later two that we get more of that. But I don't know.
Yeah, it would be nice having more or that music. I do think they try to have a little bit of that, like beginning and end of these films. There's some good music in there, and I may be wrong, but I even remember there was like some that was actually from the games and the games.
Yeah, there. Uh, in this the first movie specifically, yeah, the opening scene. Well, the opening scene with Green Hill had some music, and then they used the Green Hill motif a few
Hmm.
times. Um, they've done that several times. Used Green Hill's theme, which makes sense.
Yeah. With with like my idea of like having them go to the Green Hills zone for like the fourth film. So, one like joke that I would hope they would make like is like having Tom just be notice like all the loop de loops and all these things and be like, this place is so impractical. What?
Yeah,
Why is this all like this?
I feel like they would have to make that joke because you
Uh,
do look at Sonic's world and you're like, just normal people, you can't live here
yeah.
because everything's loops or corkscrews or things like that.
Uh, I'm honestly surprised that we haven't had them going back to that act to that world yet at all. I
I
feel like
thought that was going to happen in the second one a little bit because Tails showed back up, and I was like,
yeah.
maybe he's going to like say tell Sonic there's something going on there and he needs help, which I think a lot of people thought that, but that's not when we end up
Mhm.
getting.
Yeah. I think it'll also be it would be interesting with going back there is like um seeing how Knuckles feels now about how there's the echidna are so aggressive and hunting these or some people there. Like I
Yeah,
think that would be really interesting.
the thing I like with Knuckles, which they touched on that a little bit in the second movie, is he has had several times where he's kind of reflected on kind of what his tribe has either done, or the second one definitely touched on the fact that he was the last one. Um, which I can't remember. It's been a little bit since I watched the second one. If he
Mhm.
was actually the last one, or if he's just completely separated.
Feel
Um,
like it's gotta be a separation thing because like if the echidna were not a thing anymore, then I don't see any reason why we would never see them going back there, or why Longclaw has never come to visit Sonic. I feel like there's got to be like it's still dangerous.
yeah,
And if there were no echidna left, it wouldn't be dangerous to travel back and forth.
that's what I think. My idea, if they did that in the fourth one, and they went back, I feel like it would either they're going to deal with the echidnas left, or maybe Metal Sonic would kind of bring them there. Either way, I feel like there could be some way, even if it's not for very long,
Hmm.
where they go back to that
Yeah,
world. And I think everybody
I I
wants
yeah,
to see that,
I definitely like really want to see Sonic get to interact with Longclaw again. Like
especially
that's a
now that
big
he's
part.
fully grown for the
Yeah,
most part.
I think that could be such an emotional scene, and so that would be really nice to see.
And then an interaction I'd want to see with that is seeing Tom and Longclaw because they both have raised him at
Yeah,
some point.
yeah, I think that would be really cool. At least, and Longclaw thanking Tom for everything he's done.
Yeah,
Would be great. Let's see. I love the of how they tied up the can't remember his Tom's girlfriend's name, but her sister and um they just leave her there tied up and then and finally she's like she tells her daughter to put on her Fitbit so she can get some steps
I
in.
I love that character. There's been a lot of people who don't, just because, which I get a little bit in the second one. Her part was a lot bigger, and then that's just not everyone's humor. But I just thought she was hilarious
Oh
because
yeah.
she's there. She's super unhinged, and as
Mhm.
far as we know, there's not a whole lot of reason as to why. She's just crazy,
Yeah, I
and
love
it's
her.
kind of funny.
Uh,
I was hoping
it's
three would use her a little bit more, but not
it's
really.
really funny to me how at the end of the film they're like, oh yeah, we have she's tied up, but then immediately afterwards they're like, yeah, we don't need to go back there. I'm like, I feel like you probably should so that you can untie her at least.
So I'm like, I want to know how long it took before she was untied,
Oh man.
because it seems like even her daughter was like, I'm just gonna leave her tied up for a little bit.
Yep.
Like I'm gonna have fun now.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh, another thing. Yeah, it's such a nice little moment. And at the end of this is how they brought all of Sonic stuff from his cave to the attic. It was so good. I love all the recurring jokes in the film about Olive Garden.
Yeah, I don't like. I know it's product placement, but I still think
It's
it's funny
actually not.
that they
They
just kept doing that.
Olive Garden did not pay them to do
They just
anything for
felt
the
like
film.
it then.
They just thought it would be hilarious to keep bringing up Olive Garden.
Like it, they did it even in the second movie, so much to when the kind of the general in the third one, he was trying to give Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles like the key card. I legitimately thought he was going to give them an Olive Garden card. They, that character just is tied to that joke.
I feel like at some point they need to like actually have the characters go to an Olive Garden. I think what would be really funny is if is Sonic insisting on taking one of their cheese graters for airs and just he just starts going to every person at the Olive Garden's table just starts putting a massive amount of cheese on their plate.
Oh, I could absolutely see him doing that.
uh, I think he would have so much fun with one of their cheese graters. Yeah. um I don't think there's much else at least about this one of the Sonic films for us to talk about. Unless you have anything else, I'm gonna start winding this down.
The one thing I have left is there were people I remember when this movie came out, because that was a I was very excited for that.
Hmm.
The amount of people though that get, just for any kids movies, they get mad when like songs are put in,
Hmm.
just like insert songs. Especially for whatever reason, the kids movies are the ones that get hit the most with that. Even though we've seen from people like James Gunn, putting music in is not a problem,
Hmm.
but especially um, in this one, I'm like, I think every time they used music, it was fitting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
They
to me,
could.
every time in the other two, they were used well too.
Oh yeah, they absolutely do such a great job with the music in these films. It's always fitting. It's always fun. And it's always something you feel like Sonic himself would put into the scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's all then. Then everyone, please check out Hedgy on his Twitter. That is at King of Hedgies. Is so. You can find him. And I hope everyone enjoyed listening to this. And if you like this game analysis, please give a 5-star our review on Apple Podcasts or a 5-star rating on Spotify. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the episodes. So please let me know. If you'd like to listen more from me, please subscribe. Many more game analysis from me coming. So keep on the lookout. This again is your host, Master John, signing off.